And the Southwest Regional Director of Fish and Wildlife that the decision to reintroduce wolf is based on outdated information and that its consequences could violate existing wilderness management provisions. There is no need to rush into the decision and further compound existing problems with a 2-year-old reintroduction program and a program that has been a failure from the beginning, and the program and I continue to oppose the skiing venture in southeastern New Mexico. Tucson. Charles Punch Woods found his columns on the dock of Veracruz, Mexico. It was a turning point in my life, said Woods, 61, who was for more than 2 decades has headed Tucson's community food bank. When he took over, the bank handled less than $500,000 worth of a year in the Pima County. Today, it distributes more than $14 million worth. The food bank is one of the highest profile agencies in Tucson. Its success to the larger passion that the Woods has brought to his mission. The food bank can punch on almost one entirety, said Margaret Steele, president of Food Bank's board of directors. He lives on the food bank. In a way, he began living in it in 1960. Woods said in the Ohio State University agriculture student, spent several months studying in New Mexico, and while there he was roommate went to the pre-Lenten carnival. In all, one of our more sober moments, he ended up on a ducks. He said the young men idly watched on the saxophone were lifted on and shipped in the cargo net. Some of the kernels would pop out of the dock. Peasant women scrambled to scoop them up. That brought Woods up short. Today, some 40 years out of the incident, the food bank that he oversees provides the equivalent of about 28,000 meals a day that the people in need in Pima County. To Woods, that food reminds him of the spilled Veracruz corn that didn't go to waste. A lot of those foods would be destroyed if food banks weren't protected, he said. He had this real mission and recalls his wife, Karen Casey, to everybody who knows her. It was very close that I needed to be part of the purpose. In 1967, Woods is to Mexico as a part of a United Methodist missionary family as a Woods start. The job was to help not preach. We felt that our faith is we called into service period, Woods said. Among other things, he helped groups of families get loans, taught them how to vaccinate animals, and provided information on agriculture and family planning. Casey co-founded 2 elementary schools, one in Puebla and another in KNXV. When the Woods returned to the United States in 1937, they decided to want to remain close to Mexico. We arrived in Tucson with a VW bus with 3 kids, 2 dogs, and no job, he said. Woods met with Ron Brahminer, the executive director of the Tucson Metropolitan Ministries, the social service arm of the United Methodist Church, now called TNM Family Services. The organization is supported by 70 congregations and continues in the social service work. We became friends immediately, said Brahminer, now the pastor of the Lakeview United Methodist Church in Sun City. Talk about a visit. There he is. He hired Woods in the Hispanic Awareness Program. Key management, something that was very poorly funded, pulled it together with a decent board and made a decent contribution, Brahmar said. 1978, when the position of a community food bank director opened, Woods applied for it, became an executive director. In 1982, the Arizona Daily Star presented Woods with a Jefferson Award for public service and community leadership. I called him an idealist where his feet are firmly planted in the ground, he said Barry Corey, a board member and one of the food bank's founders. He's a guy who got his lofty goals and he's always got his eye on his back burner is how it is going to happen. In 1995, for example, the community food bank moved to a 29,000 square foot location of 150,000 square foot building. Punch came up with a location which was massively more than he needed, said Lou Murphy, food bank board member and former Tucson mayor. Murphy said some of the members that fit the building was too expensive. Eventually, in fact, the community food bank financed the purchase of the property with a loan of about $2 million collected in a fundraising campaign. The building with a huge multi-service center provides about 16 different services besides the 8 separate food programs within the food bank. I love the busyness of this place. Parent babies crying, people asking where something is, been picking up food. Woods said, and the women's carrying the child walked about the food bank store. It just feels good. Christmas tragedy down in Yuma, where a Yuma man, the Santa Claus, was killed in a crash between a dune buggy and a pickup truck during the festival light parade here. 2 others were injured in the accident. George Mizzer, 65, was riding in the last dune buggy of the parade, playing at the part of the center and waving at the spectators. His dune buggy was hit by a truck that was not part of the parade. The driver identified as Richard Albert, 51. Mizzer was thrown from the dune buggy and killed. 2 others riding in the vehicle were injured in the crash. Meyer Unified School Board members spent part of the Tuesday special meeting checking on the liability insurance, their personal liability coverage. Board members requested Superintendent Eli Casey put the term in, but he said that he didn't give enough information to register to the latest early. So taking a guess, he landed the representative from the Arizona Schools Risk Retention Trust so that they would be talking about the district or bridges, and if they're attending the recent Arizona School Boards Association workshop, board members became concerned about our liability coverage. Flagstaff United School District had to assess a special tax against property owners to cover a judgment stemming from a bus accident. Glendale Unified School District Board members found them motives for personally liable for violations of the open meeting law. The board wanted to get information on covers and considered hiring its own attorney to represent it in case of a lawsuit. Board member Mark Meffern says why the board would need an attorney already the Yavapai County Attorney Office represents them. Board member Kevin West says that in case of the board makes a mistake regarding the open meeting law, and someone alleges that the board did the action intentionally, they shouldn't have to pay the cents cost out of their own pocket. Board President Ken Boyd added that there are simulations this would be somewhat difficult last month. Superintendent Eliot Casey ordered his resignation. If the board made a mistake in this on a simulation, the county attorney's office wouldn't want to handle lengthy litigation between the board and administration, Boyd said. Audience and staff members wanted to know what the board was investigation that they wanted their own attorney to be handled. Several audience members pointed out that the board was taking enough taxpayers to pay for the attorney. They should at least know the reason why. But board member Don Davenport said the board didn't want to disclose the information. Board member Mark Methern was in the not knowing why his colleagues referred to he and board member David Snodgrass opened a 3-2 motion. Although Snodgrass never expressed his opinion during the discussion. Trust Representative Gary Spiker, the former Humboldt Unified School District Superintendent, said the board already has insurance to cover any errors that may act, and as a board they have $25 million in coverage per incident and any liability. However, the group of them does something outside the realm of the other board duties, these actions wouldn't be covered. In international news, Russian Interior Ministry troops and Chechen forces loyal to Moscow advanced in Grozny is what they billed as a decisive battle for the capital of the breakaway Chechnya got underway. Hijackers who took over an Indian airliner's jet on a heroin journey across South Asia and the Middle East demanded that they release a Pakistani religious leader and several Kashmiri fighters. Egon Krenz, a former leader of the Communist East Germany, is supposed to start serving a 6-year sentence for his complicity in his government's policy shooting people who try to escape to the West. But it's not going without a fight. Pope John Paul II called for repentance in the new millennium of a prelude for the kind of soul searching in which he intends to lead to the church throughout the year 2000. France said it was sending troops to Ivory Coast to protect the president and to prepare for the possible evacuation route of about 2,000 to 20,000 French nationals. But there were reports that the country's new rule were refusing entry. Mercia Personnel, a diplomat condemned to death but released under an amnesty in 1989, found himself under a death sentence in Bucharest, although he has been an American citizen since 1992. A decision by the United States military distributed about 14,000 gas masks to dependents of American soldiers and emergency staff members, and so has raised concern that despite its new diplomatic tone, North Korea is planning a chemical assault. Spared by an Institute of Medicine report last month, big employers, healthcare organizations, state regulators, and the federal government are stepping under pressure to revamp a healthcare system that calls itself the best in the world, but yet hides and ignores mistakes that kill tens of thousands of patients a year. At a time when Congress is bitterly divided on many issues, Democrats and Republicans are happily reaching across the party lines to pass legislation supported by the high-tech industry, which is lavishing new attention on Washington. A beef processing company that had extensively failed the Agriculture Department's new safety standards announced that it was recalling 180,000 pounds of ground beef because it contained a deadly E. coli bacteria. Astronauts on the Space Shuttle Discovery repaired a Hubble Space Telescope released in the world's finest observatory to resume its scientific quest. To its owners, the American Electric Power Corporation and Phillips Burn Electric Plant in New Haven, West Virginia is an engineering marvel. The first coal plant in the world to produce a kilowatt hour of power with less than 10,000 BTUs, the Environmental Protection Agency says the problem is that one set the standard for 50 years ago.
Last chance in the year to get great deals. Our exciting lineup before
The 15-month struggle between Kaiser Aluminum and United Steelworkers America is one of the biggest and longest labor disputes in years. It's far more than an old-fashioned labor war. It is a battle over the two clashing visions of the future of the American workplace. At the end of this century, 1 in 3 New York City residents and an immigrant who's nearly half arrived in the last 15 years, not since 1910. At the peak of the century's great wave of immigration brought Ellis Island as a radio of newcomers have begun as high of a ratio as no other city has absorbed so many different nationalities that since immigration laws were changed in 1965. The 40 days are written in the elaborate plan to keep Times Square millennial celebration safe. 8,000 police officers will be assigned to the area around Times Square. The police plan to tow cars parked in designated areas of Midtown Manhattan, both to clear the way for throngs of revelers and to avert any possible car bomb attempt to these areas, which will be closed to traffic. As New York City seeks its 12th school chancellors in 20 years, one question seems inescapable: can anybody do this job? The Department Chancellor Woody Koo passed landmark government changes and set up a summer school system to an automatic promotion of students and help and principals tenure, but it's pitfall. Longer contract was for the teams by political and zone indecision. Alright, let's get on with the weather here right now. Our current conditions.
Ancient Greek.
The 10 p.m. reports around the region and around the state. It is 69 degrees out temperature at Sky Harbor, 66 in Glendale, 67 in Deer Valley, 70 in Glendale, 66 in Scottsdale, 67 out in Deer Valley, 69 out in Sky Harbor. When you get up, 17 in Prescott, 47 in Prescott, 33 in Flagstaff, 42 out in Show Low and Winslow, 34 out in Grand Canyon, 58 in Las Vegas, 53 in Kingman, 68 in Capital City, 70 in Yuma, 68 in Casa Grande, 63 out in Tucson, and 55 out in Sierra Vista, and 54 in Douglas. Okay, let us take a look at our national maps and the national weather forecast. The unusually dry weather pattern persisted as jet stream winds blow from the northwest in most sections east of the Rockies. A vigorous disturbance movement in central Ontario will direct the first supply of frigid air into the Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley. Leading edge of the colder weather will move from the Appalachians to the coast during the afternoon. A gusty breeze from the southwest drew more seasonable conditions in the Mid-Atlantic region and coastal northeast. The clouds thickened in New England. A sharp wind from the northwest transported gale air across the Great Lakes, resulting in snow showers from northern Michigan and Wisconsin to central New York and Pennsylvania. The south will be bright and noticeably mild. However, the chilly air will turn tomorrow. Some clouds covered southern Florida, and it would not be as cold as yesterday morning. High pressure in northern Texas circulated moisture from the Gulf of Mexico into the upper Rio Grande Valley, producing drizzle and fog. A disturbance migrating westward across Arizona forced the moistened air to ascend into the Southern Rockies. Bands of showers dampened New Mexico and northern Arizona and wet snow in the higher elevations. An enormous high pressure system with central pressure about 31 inches of mercury controlled the weather west of the Mississippi Valley. Stagnant conditions following accumulating pollutants with persistent in the northwest middle baby dry. So a forecast for our 7-day forecast goes like this. Part clouds high about lows about 23 to 43 degrees. Monday, clouds and sun a bit cool, high about 46 to 66 degrees, low about 21 to 41 degrees. Tuesday, partly most of the sun skies high about 48 to 68 degrees, low about 19 to 39 degrees. Wednesday, most of the sun skies about 52 to 32 degrees, and low about 23 to 43 degrees. And for Thursday, a good deal of sunshine, high about 50, low about 25 degrees, high about 70, low 45 for Phoenix. Sunset, 5:25 p.m. about 6 minutes from now. Moonrise tonight, 7:59 p.m. Last quarter moon, December 29th. New moon, January 6th, and first moon, January 14th, and full moon, January 20th. That's giving you the weather now. Let's get on to the sports here, where the Arizona Cardinals playoff hopes got ran over by Atlanta Falcons bulldozer at the Georgia Dome as in Atlanta, eliminated from the playoffs long ago. The Atlanta Falcons made sure another 1998 postseason teams won't be playing much longer either. The NFC's championships took advantage of Arizona's glaring weaknesses for the highest scoring game of the season, a 37-14 rout Sunday that ended the playoff hopes for the Arizona Cardinals. The Falcons improved to 4-11, piled up a season high 163 yards against the NFL's 30th rate run defense. Brian Hansford became the first Atlanta back to go over 100 yards this season and rushed 26 attempts for 102 yards and touchdown, while fullback Bob Christian scored twice. He called on the career best 33-yard one. When he can't stop to run the minutes where the defense can do to confuse you, Christian said it was a good day. Not so for the Cardinals 6-9, who needed to win their final two games for a chance at the playoffs and wind up in their third straight loss. Arizona held the ball only 24 minutes 40 seconds, even less than usual for the team that already ranked next to last in the category. Where can I chill? You can't cry about it. That's like that Super Bowl to hapless Falcons rebuild. The Royals were eliminated, the team that reached the NFC semifinals a year ago. I think Arizona's game that is playing a little more conservative than usual. They had a lot more pressure and a lot more to lose than we did. Morton answered kicked 2 field goals in the final 42 seconds after the second quarter. The second half time ran out after Gerald McBurrows intercepted a pass from Jake Plummer. Leading 2014, Atlanta took the life out of its Cardinals by consuming the first 10-21 of the third quarter with a 15-play drive that included only one gain of more than 10 yards. Chris Chandler, who sat out last week with a strained rib muscles, took up a rookie Eugene
50 to 60% off, plus an extra 10%.
Baker on an 11-yard pass to the Arizona One before Hansford scored. The Cardinals challenged a call after Bale popped away from Hansford, but we play Shoddy all the way across the goal line. Hansford turned on the plates of leading rusher Ken Oxenine, who was benched after fumbling twice last week against Tennessee. Finally, the offense got rolling, said Chandler opened in and scored with a 23-yard touchdown pass to Terrence Mathis. Unfortunately, this is only a few weeks that reminded you of last year. In the fourth quarter, when the Falcons faced 3rd and 10 and then Arizona 33, when Chandler handed off to the Christian Andrade, the fullback found a gaping hole and didn't stop. Brennan would have reached in the end zone and given the Falcons a 34-14 lead with 10:06 remaining, and then emphatically put in a halt to the season for the Cardinals. Christian and devoutly religious man scored it on an audible dub Moses in the Falcon play. Moses part in the Red Sea. That play works the same way. It was easy on my part. All I had to do was run and hope I didn't get caught. The Cardinals took the only lead at 14-7 when Mario Bates scored on the second of his 1-yard touchdown runs 8:30 left in the second quarter. The Falcons responded with Christian 1-yard touchdown run before Anderson put them ahead to stay with a 20-yard field goal with 42 seconds remaining. Arizona decided not to run out the clock and wound up regretting it. Big Birds picked off Plymouth spots returned 23 yards to Arizona 28. 2 completions later by Chandler set up an Anderson's second field goal. These 3 points just before halftime really hurt us. They had a veteran quarterback and he took advantage of the situation.
Who has time for that?
Nobody does.
Notes Plymouth threw a 19-yard pass
There's no negotiation.
to David Boston for a touchdown with 8:19 left, but the play was nullified when Johnny McWilliams was called for offensive pass interference some 15 yards away. The Cardinals wound up being stopped on downs. Atlanta's Chuck Smith was called for 2 major penalties, one on play in the first quarter. First, he hit Plummer in the back wall through the whistle, resulting in an unnecessary roughness. Then Wall Smith, who was recall he drew an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Arizona has been outscored 1-11-19 in the first quarter. The Cardinals finished the season at frigid Green Bay on Sunday, up in the Thunder at Lambeau Field. Other scores around the NFL: Buffalo nipping New England overtime 13-10. Pittsburgh over Carolina 30-20. St. Louis over Chicago Bears 34-12. Baltimore Ravens blinking Cincinnati Bengals 22-0. Indianapolis nipping Cleveland 29-28. Tennessee thumping Jacksonville 41-14. Minnesota over the New York Giants 34-17. San Diego over Oakland 23-20. Seattle 23, Kansas City 14. Tampa Bay over Green Bay 29-10. And Washington and San Francisco playing at Monday night at the Stick in Candlestick Park. AP Top 25 poll shows Stanford ranking first place in AP 25. Arizona ranking in 5th place.
He's giving more.
Tonight, the Suns are at the American West Arena taking on the Golden State Warriors, while the Phoenix Coyotes are out in Los Angeles taking on the Los Angeles Kings.
So you having a good time?
Falcons go to success, disappointments, and the resonation of a few very familiar names, but the word that is playing the 99 local sports scene might be diverse. The 99 landscape range from Mills won the departments and season loss to a representation of 2000 Olympic Games to a Western States National Championship produced by a group of girls 12 years of age and younger, just an event in Millennium. Phoenix Suns rookie Sean Marion underwent office surgery on his left knee, and power forward Ben Davis returned to his team when he began his pro career. The Suns signed a 6'9" Davis to bolster its depleted front court. Davis had been playing for the Ottawa Stampede of the Continental Basketball Association, averaging 18.4 points and 7.5 rebounds per game. Davis was an All-Pro 10 player at the senior for Arizona in 1996 and was a second-round draft pick of the Suns to the 43rd pick overall. He played 20 games with Phoenix and as a rookie and played part of the last 2 seasons with the New York Knicks. He's played in the 35 NBA games, averaging 1.4 points and 1.3 rebounds per game. Marion, the first round draft pick, was starting before he was hurt. He was placed on the Angel list on December 5th. And has missed 10 games while waiting for his sore knee to improve. Eventually, team talked to Richard Emerson, determined that surgery would be necessary. On Thursday, Emerson removed loose cartilage from beneath Marion's left kneecap. There was no word that when he might return to the play. The 6'7" forward from UNLV has averaged 10.1 points and 5.7 rebounds per game. Nashville, Tennessee in the late 80s and early 90s. Nebraska lost 8 consecutive bowl games to the teams with more power, more speed, and the Cornhuskers vowed to get faster. In the Orange Bowl 2 years ago, the Cornhuskers showed Tennessee what their speed and combined and power could do, laying out 42-17, whipping on the Volunteers on route to finish in second in Michigan in the final rankings. After that game, the Vols, long known prominently for their speed, about to get stronger. They didn't win the national championship last year in the Fiesta Bowl, 22nd, the third-ranked Cornhuskers. And them 6 Volunteers, and we'll see how they match up against each other now. You look at it, look in Nebraska, and it's going to be an old-fashioned football game. Tennessee. Senator Spencer Riley said, Riley, a fifth-year senior, and his main memory of the Orange Bowl against the Huskers and getting beat days was anything to remember. We took a butt kicking and came home. The Vols frequently title losses as the catalyst for the title run last year. It pushed them in a great new vigor in their offseason after running only 21 times for 128 yards in the Orange Bowl. Tennessee came back to lead the Southeast Conference in the Western in the last 2 years at the 211 and 191 yards game. That was motivation for us. Offensive tackle Chad Clifton said we knew where we needed to get in the past 2 years. We think that we have done that. We played well, and I think that we're one of our better teams in the country. Nebraska is too. In Atlanta, if he was general manager of Atlanta Braves Hall of Famer Hank Aaron would strongly consider getting rid of John Gert, the pitcher, for his remarks about minorities and homosexuals. If he stays here and walks in the clubhouse, sadly you say it's going to be a problem. Aaron told KNXV-TV on Thursday. Someday, who feels this way is a very sick person. Aaron is not alone in his criticism about 15 activists protested outside Turner Field on Thursday, urging the Braves release record for the comments which were published in this week's Sports Illustrated. Trainers suspending him will not be enough punishment for the relief pitcher. The activists said they want him out of baseball for good. There may be some redemption, but it's not a land. And that's going to be the ABC 15 news at 5 o'clock on December 26, 1999 on a Sunday. I'm Peter. Hope you have a good evening, and coming next on ABC 15 will be Roger Ebert and the movies. I'll be back for the ABC 15 news at 10 right after Florida Disaster. Have a good evening.